Aloha, welcome to the Zen Tiki Lounge, the dimly lit tiki bar that lives in your head. Today, we are going to show you my revised recipe on how to make Sunshines Very Spicy Rum with these ingredients that are right in front of me. But first, if you don't already subscribe to the Zen Tiki Lounge podcast, go to zentikilounge.com and click on the subscribe link so that you get each and every episode of the podcast. We have over 410 of them at this point. You'll get those delivered right to the device of your choice. So let's make Sunshine's Very Spicy Rum. If you've been listening to the podcast for any time, you know that I use it in quite a few recipes, and it is just better than any over-the-counter spiced rum that you're going to buy. And there's a big reason for that. Most over-the-counter spiced rums rely way too much on vanilla. They're very vanilla heavy, and then they're very low on the actual spices that you really want to enjoy in a spiced rum. So, to make mine, start with a 1.75 liter bottle of an amber rum. Don't buy something too expensive. I'm using Cruzan today. You can use whatever you want. You want to step it up a little bit, use Appleton. That would be fine. But any amber rum in a 1.75, you don't want to do it in a smaller bottle because you'll go through it too fast when you're done. So 3 whole fresh vanilla beans. You know the vanilla bean is still fresh when it feels a little moist. You can still bend it fairly easily, and it doesn't feel dry. So just drop those and put them into the bottle. The vanilla beans go in a full 7 days before the other ingredients. That's important. Vanilla takes much longer to infuse than the smaller, harder spices that we're going to put in, like clove, allspice, and cinnamon. So the vanilla bean is in there. We're imagining that we've had that in there for 7 days. Then what we're going to do is we are going to put in approximately 24 whole allspice berries. In my original recipe, I used to crush these. I no longer do that. I'm doubling the number of berries that I put in. That accounts for not crushing them. And I learned over time that when you crush the allspice berries, the rum that you're infusing, it can get bitter a little more quickly than you would like it to, so it's not actually a good idea. You also put in approximately 12 whole fresh cloves. This is what really kind of gives it that signature spice of Sunshine's Very Spicy Rum. It adds what some people have said, that Christmas note to it. So those go into the bottle as well. So in there, we've got the vanilla. It's been in there for 7 days. We've got the allspice. We've got the clove. And then we're going to put in some fresh cinnamon sticks. And just something to keep in mind with the cinnamon sticks is that you want some cinnamon sticks that are actually fairly narrow in size, because when you drop them in, you're going to want to take all of the spices back out. So I'm putting in the 4 whole cinnamon sticks. And I'm not using a big fat cinnamon stick like this, one that's kind of already unwound, because they double in size when they're in there soaking up the rum. And if you put one of these in there, it won't come back out the hole when you want to strain everything out. So a nice narrow cinnamon stick is better. So the vanilla was in for 7 days ahead. Now I've put in all of the other spices. Those are going to be in there for 5 to 7 days. It just depends on what you like. So the cap goes on. I say every day, just give it 2 of these so that it mixes everything up. The color of your rum is going to darken very visibly over those first couple of days, and that's what you want. That is the spices infusing into your rum. So about day 4 or 5, go ahead and uncap it. Pour just a small amount into the cap or in whatever you want. Give it a little taste and determine, is that the spiciness you want, or do you want to go a little heavier? And if not, you want it spicier, put the cap back on and give it another couple of days. But try it every day after that 5th day with all the spices in there, and then that's how you know. Now, one additional tip that I want to share with you that I do to my own recipe now that I did not used to do, and that is, before I put everything in, I take out about 2 ounces of rum. And that is because at the end, after the 7 days with vanilla and then the additional 5 to 7 days, so 14 days total-ish with all the spices, you strain those out through a filter so that all you get is just the rum. And you can put it back in this bottle, of course. I found that I like to actually add about 1/3 cup of white sugar. Most spice rums you buy over the counter, they do have a sweetness to them, and it is because there is some sugar added in most cases. And I have found that that little bit of sugar that you add to this large volume here, it makes all of the spices really just kind of come alive. And so I have been doing that the last couple of years. So my old recipe didn't reflect that. So now you know how to make Sunshine's Very Spicy Rum. It's super simple. I bottle it. Lots of these little 4-ounce and 2-ounce bottles to give as gifts during the holidays. Also perfect for making about 2 cocktails. And then my favorite cocktail that I make with Sunshine's Very Spicy Rum, not a tiki drink at all, but it is a spiced rum hatton. So you'll find this recipe for the rum hatton on zentikilounge.com. Click on the cocktails link. I'm going to have a sip right now. It is the drink that if I'm going to have one after work or any day around the house, this is probably what I'm drinking. And the nice thing about it is because there's so much spice in here, you do not need to add bitters to this version of a Manhattan, or as I call it, a rum hatton. All right, so just 2 more things then. I want to mention that we currently have for sale in our store, zentikilounge.com, click on the store link, we have our rocks glasses. So they have our logo on the front, just like on our t-shirts, which are also available in the store. The men's come in black, nice soft cotton. The ladies come in a navy blue with a scoop neck, because the ladies have told me they like that, so we gave them that collar. And on the back of the shirt, just like the back of the glass, you see it's the dimly lit tiki bar that lives in your head. But not only that, you see that we have our original mugs that are unfortunately no longer available, but in memoriam, Big Richard and Little Richard, or Big Dick and Little Dick, are available on the glass only, the rocks glass. So I want to thank you for joining me here in the Zen Tiki Lounge. I am Sunshine Tiki. I hope you will subscribe to the Zen Tiki Lounge podcast. Try making Sunshine's Very Spicy Rum, or use this as a base recipe and then do whatever you want with it. But infusing your own rum is super simple, and it will be better than anything you buy over the counter or in the liquor barn. I guarantee it. Cheers and mahalo.